So what we're showing here at PAX 2011 is a brand new dungeon, never before seen dungeon, and a new gameplay mode called Protected Relics. What we have right here, we have two people get into a party. They're going to go into this new dungeon called the Collapsed Halls. What's unique about this dungeon is that it's the first time it presents you with some of these new enemies, like these healing enemies. A lot of mobs that were bosses previously in the game have now just become normal enemies in the game. So it really shows off the like progressive difficulty of the game. The two players we have here, we have Franz and Tude. They're both wearing some new costumes which just recently released. And you see they'll go right in and they'll start getting attacked by enemies. These are the faster of all the characters in Rusty Hearts. So you'll see some pretty action-packed gameplay. See some cool throws there by Tude, some good combos. He has a lot of skills that we've never been able to show before. Here's some high-level characters, the highest level we've been able to display yet. So you guys are among the first to see it. Another unique thing about this dungeon is it shows some of the platforming and puzzle type configurations of some of the dungeons. What you'll see is there'll be a gate and there'll be a bit like a light lock on it, which shows that you can't get through it. There's a puzzle later in the dungeon that you would have to do to unlock that, but there's an alternate route you can take, which they're taking right now. It shows off a little bit of the platforming elements in the game. So it's not all just side-scrolling. There's a lot of different unique angles, a lot of different gameplay to it. So right in the middle of the action right here, you see the old bald guys, those enemies. Those are the Tantalus Recoverers. Those are the healing enemies, so they'll heal themselves and all the other mobs if you don't take them out pretty quickly. So normally the strategy is, when you're in a party, one guy will go take care of them as quickly as possible and knock them around, because if they're off their feet, even if they're not dead, they're not going to be healing each other. Those are extremely difficult in boss situations because they continually heal the bosses and all the surrounding mobs. So you're definitely going to have to use some strategy to be able to take care of them. The old skeleton soldier mobs make a reappearance. The Tantalus Recoverers. You can see they're all dropping loot. Loot's a big part of the game. See some of those crazy skills. That one right there that Franz just dropped on the floor is sort of a leech life type of thing. So anyone that's in that area, their life will be continually drained.
We just saw something appear at the top of the screen. It almost looked like a little roulette. What was that?
So, if you can see on the right side, there's a little icon with an NPC whose name is Poison. If you kind of activate her power, there's this little kind of chance roulette that pops up. So if you deal damage to an enemy that ends in the number 7, this roulette wheel will pop up and it'll scroll through all the NPCs, and all the NPC powers, they offer some sort of boost or some sort of unique drop or something like that. Depending on what it lands on, that's what you and your partner and your whole party get. Sometimes you get nothing, sometimes you get something really cool. So every time you deal damage that ends in a 7, you get a chance of that. You'll also see at the bottom of the screen, sometimes a little roulette wheel will pop up, and that's if someone picks up a good piece of gear, like a good weapon or a piece of armor or something like that. If you're in a party, there's like an auto-distribute system. So you can see it right now at the bottom. One guy will pick something up, and then it'll roulette through all the names in the party. Whoever it lands on gets that piece of gear. I mentioned skills earlier. These players have some higher level skills that no one's ever seen. You may have seen over that enemy's head right now, there's a little text bubble. It looked like a little text bubble. What it actually is, the weapon that Franz has equipped right now has a 2% chance of silencing an enemy with a hit. Silencing means they can't attack. They can still wander around and they'll still be alive, but they can't do any attacks for a certain period of time. One of Tude's skills, on the other hand, has a small chance to petrify enemies. So one out of every very few attacks, an enemy will actually be petrified. And it's pretty cool. It gives you a really good advantage. So you'll see right now they're in the boss mode of this dungeon. This boss is called Crimson Gloves, and he's actually an evolved version of an earlier boss called Gloves. He's much stronger, much more powerful, and it really shows the difficulty of the game.
It just looked like he got healed.
Yeah, so it kind of goes to what I mentioned earlier. There's the Tantalus healers in this boss mode, like that guy right there that he's holding. So they'll heal the boss. They'll heal the boss and all the monsters around him. So what the strategy that these two players are taking is to kill all those guys first, and then work on the boss, because you can deal a ton of damage. See, the boss just got petrified by one of Tude's skills. So you can deal a lot of damage to the boss, but if those healers are still alive, they're just going to continually heal it, and you'll be there all day. So you got to use some strategy. If they had an Angela in the party, she would be extremely helpful right now because she has the hero healing skills. So she'll be able to heal herself and her party members while they're trying to take care of this boss. This small note, one of the things that we just added in closed beta phase 2 is the ability to skip. There's a little waiting scene before you go and get your grade. Now you can skip it. If you don't want it, if you don't care about picking up any of the drops or anything like that, you can just skip right to the end. So they clear the stage, they're going to get their grade. Their grade is based off of their style points and their damage. So higher style points means they were able to chain a bunch of hits together, use a lot of their skills and everything like that. Damage is how much damage they took. Those two combined add to their grade. You'll see this loot card mini game right now. So all of these cards contain some sort of little prize, but because they found the silver loot card in there, there's a silver piece of gear somewhere in there. Now what's cool about this is if you're in a party and you'll see it was actually on the bottom left, so you didn't get it. But what's cool about that is all the members in the party pull from that same deck, and whoever happens to get the good gear will get to keep it. So it's this cool, fun little mini game at the end. Closed beta phase 2 just started. A lot of new stuff's been introduced, so make sure you check it out.